Welcome to your daily focus, December the 17th, 2021. My name is Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Thank you. Thank you truly for all the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. Thank you for all the birthday wishes and well-beings. You guys absolutely rock. I hope you know that. Thank you so much. Numerology 17, making the impossible possible. Now remember that the 1 plus 7 is an 8. So we have to embrace our strength, embrace our courage, and definitely walk with integrity, being honest, truthful. I heard raw, real. So making the impossible possible. If you do the numerology of the day, it's a 16. That's awakenings. So do we have an awakening today that shows us how we can make the impossible possible in our lives? Does something happen? Does somebody knock on the door and hand you an envelope with a check in it? Who knows? Certainly, that tends to tell us, the 17th and the 16th, and I looked into the astrology and we'll get there, but that all goes together. I'll just leave you in confusion for now. The 16 is about awakening. Sometimes we don't even like what's happening to us. Usually when the 16 energy really comes into its trueness, it's showing us something or bringing something to our attention that we have been trying to ignore, that we were hoping it would fix itself or go away or somehow just magically disappear. We didn't want to deal with it. I have this little ladybug. Well, I know it's not a ladybug, but it is a beetle, and it does look like a ladybug walking on the camera. And go on now. Go on now. Okay. Oh, now he's landed on his back. There he goes. Okay, he is struggling there. So 1 plus 6 is a 7, standing in our truth. So the energy does demand a lot of us today. Our participation, standing in our truth, walking with integrity, embracing our strength, embracing our courage, and looking at what is happening in the here and now at this moment throughout our day. And how is this affecting me? And remember, nothing is good or bad. It's how we perceive it. And sometimes the worst things we think that are happening to us actually end up being the most beneficial things to happen in our lives. So don't pass judgment too quickly on what is happening, but rather observe and gain knowledge from it. That's when the 17 energy will come in and say, this is the way forward. Sun is in Sagittarius, Moon is in Gemini. Now we have the Sun, I think, is getting along with Pluto and getting along with Venus. Well, when the Sun is getting along with Venus, usually it's very all-round good feelings. We're happier. We want to build our relationships. We want pleasure. We want affection. We want to give and take love. But there's also, I think the Sun is a little upset with Uranus, or Uranus could be upset with the Sun. But anyways, they're having a little tiff in the sky, too. So we may not know what it all means, how it all goes together. We may not get that aha moment for days to come or weeks to come. And all of a sudden it will come back into our head and we'll have it then, the inspiration. The main thing is paying attention today, observing your world a little bit more. I heard critically, so I'll use that word, but I don't think it's the right word. Especially if something rocks your world, because Uranus is involved, Pluto's involved, the Sun's involved. And you just find that all of a sudden everything is going in the wrong direction for you. Perhaps it's not. Just humor that thought as you're walking that path. Look for the good points of it. Look at how you're going to take control and manage it. Look at how you are going to respond to it in a proactive way. We don't want to run and hide from negative. That's not negative is there. It's acknowledging it. It loses its power over you when you go, wait a minute, that's negative and I don't like it in my life. It stands out the next time it shows up, where it was just part of your world before. So when you think you're not doing anything, you truly are, even if you only do it for 5 minutes today. You remember what I said, for 5 minutes, and you do it for 5 minutes, that could be the most important and most powerful 5 minutes of your entire life. So you just never know. So be aware today of what you're going through. And maybe it's something that's recently come up. Maybe it's something that just kind of hits you out of nowhere. Maybe you've been dealing with it for a while and you've been pushing it on the back burner and you didn't want to look at it and you didn't want to address it. And you could find 1,001 reasons why you didn't have the time or the energy or the resources to do it. And that's when it shows up and it says, no, you need to pay attention. You need to deal with this. You need to confront it. So look it in the eye. It loses its grip on you when you look at it in the eye, when you allow that energy to flow through you rather than stay with you. Because even when you're ignoring it and pushing it in the back, you're still carrying it forward. You just don't realize it because you've ignored it so well, you actually think it's gone at times. Okay, what else? I don't think Uranus is getting along with the sun all that well. There's a little tiff in the sky there. So it'll test our patience. And we might even feel with this kind of energy almost like we are seeking happiness and joy. That is the 5 energy, so we automatically are seeking happiness and joy and love, and we're trying to focus on it and put time towards it. And then when we start doing it, boy, oh boy, do we feel guilty. I should be doing this. I always do that. I've always needed time to do this, and now I have the time and I'm doing this instead, and I should be. Your happiness and your joy is very important. And yes, there needs to be a balance between the two. You can't always be off dancing and skipping through the daisies. Sometimes you have to show up and be present and meet your responsibilities and obligations. But it's finding that true balance. So you work hard and you play hard. You meet your responsibilities and yet you make time for you, your joy, your happiness, your giggles, your laughter. Oh my goodness, look at that. This card jumped out and wouldn't come back for me. So Ace of Wands it is. The Ace of Wands is here to tell us that if we think about it, we'll understand what needs to be done in order to bring in that true balance. And it's a new approach, a new way, a new beginning, a new start. So we may be hesitant. We may be procrastinating because it's new and it's unknown. It's like you want to lose weight, so you go on that hike for the very first time and you face plant in a puddle, you trip over a rock, you're pretty sure you broke your toe. And yet you come out of there and the whole time your brain is going, whose stupid idea was this? Why are we not at home right now? We could be watching a workout video, maybe doing some dishes or some vacuuming, but at least getting that time in of moving around. We didn't have to do this. This is ridiculous. I'm thirsty. I'm hungry. I hurt. I don't have the right hat. I don't have the right shoes. But at the end of it, you kind of feel a little bit of the beauty that you also notice. The sun coming in through the trees, through the leaves, and a squirrel jumping from one branch to the next. Well, it's a squirrel in my world. I don't know what it would be in yours, but the birds are singing. Maybe a leaf is floating to the ground and you catch it. Maybe you see some wildlife looking at you and you're wondering if you actually are on display and they figure it as their movie of the day, the humans walking by. And so you go out and you get different shoes and you try it again and hey, that wasn't as bad. And a week later, a month later, you're really enjoying hiking, but your brain will try and talk you out of it at first. When you're trying something new, absolutely. The unknown. We know what's safe. We know what's good. And it's a natural thing that's built into us, and it's to keep us safe. And it's moving past that and taking a chance on yourself, taking a little bit of a risk, an educated risk, but a risk nonetheless. So Ace of Wands comes out to say that you will understand if you give it time, if you ponder on it, if you talk to God, your angels, your spirit guides, pray on it. You'll understand how to bring in the balance. The 17 energy is upon us today, making the impossible possible. So ask yourself some questions. Okay, let's cut the cards. Okay, what's the bottom card? The Chariot. The Chariot is about pulling back. Before you know which way you're going, you need to pull it back. You need to think it through. Everybody thinks the Chariot is like, okay, let's go, charge, but it's not. It's actually a pullback energy. It's about, there's a fog. Some things are unclear. If we step in the wrong direction, what happens? Let's just give it a minute. Let's breathe for a minute and think it through. Maybe that is the right way. Maybe my gut is telling me the right way, but I'm going to think it through. I'm going to understand which direction I want to go, which path I want to step into. Okay, our first card is, look at this, the Lovers. This is growing our relationships deeper. This is the Sun and Venus. This could be a new love, absolutely. And this is a general reading, so it's love. It could be a spouse. It could be a best friend. It could be just you. You love that customer that comes in every day at your workplace. They brighten up your day every day. And growing those kinds of relationships. Deepening those kinds of relationships. In special ways. And, what was the other example I heard? I used it not too long ago. It was in an advertisement. But it was like just you and your spouse, or it could be best friend for that matter, drive to a remote place, turn on the headlights, open up the doors, crank the tunes, and dance. Just dance and then drive home. Why not? It's very cheap and inexpensive. And I tell you, just dance it out. There's so much to that. Me and my son were shopping the other day. I bumped into something. I went, ow. And he goes, oh, just shake it off. And I started to shake it. He goes, oh, never do you surprise me, Mom. So the Lovers is here to tell us to grow our relationships, to bring in laughter and joy. Solidarity, perhaps. I heard solidarity. Look at this. The Ace of Swords, the aha moment, the epiphany. Right in the center. Did we not have this yesterday? I'm pretty sure we did. It seems like it's been a week since I've been here. That's how busy I've been. So I don't know if your world is as busy as mine, but it is young energy, so chances are it is. This is the aha moment. This is the epiphany. This is, wearing that hat, that success, becoming the emperor, the empress. It all starts with a thought. Everything starts with a thought. But you have a thought and don't just disregard it. Stop. Put it in notes if all you've got is your phone. Whip out a pen and a piece of paper. Write it down. Then sit there with it and ask yourself 5 points you can put towards that. Should it be a goal? Should it be a challenge? Should it be something that we need to curb in some way in our life? The aha moment, the epiphany, the realization, the knowledge, clarity and understanding. Look at this, the Page of Wands, and then you can create your tomorrow. So if you are having doubts about you want to start something, but you're really not sure what exactly it is you're supposed to be starting, and if you're at that point in your life, so is the Three of Wands, which means so are we all, whether we want to admit it or not. But this tells us that the world is our oyster. This card tells us that we can have anything we want. So what are we doing here? We're maybe meditating on it. We may be praying. We may be looking internally and asking ourselves if we've got it. What is our pure potential if we go after this? What should we strive for? I know what society has taught us to strive for, but what should we strive for? And ask yourself, what should I strive for? When I set this goal, how high do I? You don't want to set it unrealistically, but you don't want to set it so low that you kind of get there and you want to challenge. This is the kind of energy today with the sun and Pluto. We want to challenge. We are determined. We want to achieve any kind of goal we've set for ourselves. So it's a beautiful day to set those goals, to realize those ambitions within you and let them out into the universe and expect it to await you. And then have a patience. Okay, let's get a mantra card. So we have beautiful energy. Absolutely. Definitely about relationships. It's about growing a relationship deeper, stronger, or maybe meeting that person that is really going to open you up to something that you need to know, you need for your path, or maybe you for them. Your mentor, your guide, your best friend, your lover. Maybe you're meeting that newborn grandchild, or you're having a baby. Did I thank you all for the birthday wishes? Thank you, by the way, for that. But you guys rock. Okay, we have, look at this, originality, blaze your own trail. Originality, blaze your own trail. Let your creativity, your inner expression flow. Don't hide it. Don't rob the world of it. Show it to us. Make it grand. Make it spectacular. Make it beautiful. Only you can do it. Many people can do it, but you, only you can really do it in the way that you can do it. And we need you. So know that. Originality, blaze your own trail. Don't wait for other people. Get done what you can do. They'll either catch up or you'll find out who your true friends are when you needed them most, right? Next time they come asking, it might be a little bit harder to say yes to their wants because they kind of left you high and dry. When we blaze our own trail, we very quickly understand who is on our side, who is with us, who strengthens us, who supports us, who loves us, and who doesn't fit in that category. Okay, blaze your own trail. I just see the gold, and it's like abundance and happiness and joy, and this really is a day of joy because the sun and Venus are getting along. They're chumming it up. So we see the beauty in ourselves. We see the beauty in others. We see the beauty in the world around us. It's very easy to give gratitude and thanks for the things that you do have today because you see them a little clearer. Anytime Venus and the sun are getting along. Okay, originality. So, be a go-getter. You are a free spirit by nature. You exhibit originality, courage, defiance. You were born to succeed and breathe excitement. Love and live into the love and life into the you breathe excitement, love, and life into the lives of others. I thought that was a period, but it was a comma. My apologies. Old eyes here. They got a little older since last we talked. Despite our chaotic ways and gregarious nature, you are loving and generous. I have a sneeze coming on. My goodness gracious. I don't edit. I'm sorry, I don't. I figure the message is more important than my little blunders. And if my little blunders are upsetting you, I do apologize. But we all make little blunders, and I'm here to prove that we're all just human. We put on our pants one leg at a time. We're just here to love one another. The mantra is love me without fear, trust me without wondering, love me without restriction, love me without demands, because I am worth it. I am worth it. I am deserving, and I am worth it. What a beautiful mantra to say. Now remember, then we'll be going into our full moon. So this is our last full day energy of new moon energy, and really feeling like I deserve it, I'm worth it, and I am determined to go after a goal and set a goal. Set a desire, set a route for success for yourself today. And wait for that aha moment, that epiphany to just come flying in. And it could just be so fleeting. So pay attention. Be very knowing of your environment around you, the things that are happening around you, because they are there to move you into the right direction. Okay, let's get an animal, shall we? Oh, the deck didn't want to be shuffled too much there. Okay, we have, oh, look at this. Find your voice with the frogs. So, Well, what was the other one? Blaze your own trail. Find your voice. Deepen your relationships. And the world is your oyster. And what was the middle one? The aha moment? Yep, the aha moment and the epiphany. Don't you love how it all comes together? Okay, we got the frog. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my Ray. Frog. My eyes aren't working as good as they usually do. There we go. I'm going to have to get more light in here. Okay, sing, say no, express yourself. Sing your song, dance your dance, tell your tale. Frog tells you it's time for you to find your voice. No one. Saying no can be one of the most difficult words to speak. Frog says you've been putting too much pressure on yourself, allowing others to steal your time, exhaust your energy. We already talked about this a little bit, didn't we? You haven't vocalized your dissatisfaction with it. Instead, you have been quieting your voice. By saying no, you begin to make room for the things that you do want in your life. And it isn't easy at first. And remember, we're going to have that tug and pull between our happiness and our joy versus our responsibilities. And the minute we start enjoying ourselves a little bit, responsibilities will rear its ugly head and say, well, is that really fair to us? You can give us more time. So it's finding that true balance. So it's not easy at first. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. The more empowered you will begin to feel. You may have been keeping frustrations inside of you, and they need to be spoken. It could be a friend that has hurt you, a spouse who isn't listening to you, or a boss or coworker who isn't respecting you. And sometimes when we are deepening those relationships, when we're strengthening those relationships, it's through the honest conversations that you have in that relationship. So sometimes there's what you think is, you're having the biggest fight of your life turns into the biggest learning experience to truly take your relationship to a whole new level. Because you hurt each other. Because you understand now. Because they have clarity. You have clarity. There's a new understanding. So I'm not saying to go in and start a fight with somebody. I'm saying that sometimes we see that as I'm supposed to be deepening my relationships today, Tilly, and I think we're done. I went the opposite direction, and that may not be the case. So look at what the situation is trying to teach you. You may have been keeping frustrations inside of you. They need to be spoken. It could be a friend that has hurt you, a spouse who isn't listening, a boss or coworker who isn't respecting you. It's time for you to vocalize your feelings. In order to remove the emotion, you may want to begin by writing it down, right? We have the Chariot there telling us to back it up, to think it through before we make that move, before we make that statement, before we take that action. You may want to write down what you are saying and practice saying it aloud. Look at yourself in the mirror while you speak your words of truth, and you will begin to see how much this has been damaging your soul and spirit within your eyes. Healing will eventually come from Frog assisting you in finding your voice. frog reminds you to put on some music and sing. It can be in your home or your car. And sing as loud as you can, fun or sad. It doesn't matter. Just express yourself by singing. Your throat chakra may be blocked. Put your right hand on your throat and envision a blue light circling and swirling, healing the fears that surround you. Maybe you've always wanted to be on stage. Gee, maybe that's why I'm talking so much tonight. I do have a small little blue stone in here. Where is it? Here in the bauble. It's just a really tiny little blue stone. I don't know if we'll be able to see it or not in there, but it's there. Oh, I think it's right at the bottom or something, right? So that's right against. Maybe that's why I'm babbling on so much tonight. Anyways, maybe you've always wanted to be on stage. Oh, did I finish that? Blue light circling and swirling. So imagine that as you keep your hand on your plate, your chakra, on your throat. And when that blue light is circling and swirling, it is also healing the fears that surround you. Maybe you've always wanted to be on stage, a Broadway show, possibly a stand-up comedy act. Embrace frog in helping you find the voice within you that may be shaky right now. It will turn steady. It will turn strong. And the more you practice, the better you will become. There are no restrictions. There are no limitations unless you choose that for your path. And until we meet again, remember, I do love you.